prior to knowing who Abby was, I was one of the people that was on the fence. I didn't necessarily know if I was pro-life or pro-choice. All I knew is that I didn't want to have an abortion, and I wouldn't have an abortion. But after I heard her story and she described what she saw and what happens during an abortion procedure, I felt like I had a revelation, because I was so naive prior to that. I had no idea what happened during the procedure, and I'd never really done any research of my own to make an informed say. And hearing her testimony, it really just put me on my knees. It was so incredibly moving, and then having her say that she felt accountable for nearly 20,000 abortions during her time there, and knowing that she laid it at the foot of the cross and taking it to Jesus and asking for forgiveness was what changed her life. That was another really compelling part of the story, for her to make a 180 like that and put her faith in Christ.
Well, you've had the opportunity, obviously, to meet Abby and to work with her. What was that like, and what sort of relationship have the two of you developed?
It's always very unique when you get
Sure.
to act and portray a person who is living, and you want to do the best job that you can possibly do. You feel like you have a responsibility because you want them to be happy when they see the final product, and I think that she was. We've had a very good relationship. She was very pleased with the film. I admire her very much for her tenacity and what she's doing around the world. She is a fire starter. It's really hard to listen to Abby Johnson speak and not want to get up and do something.
Ashley Bratcher is joining us today. She played the role of Abby Johnson in the movie Unplanned. This is NRB 2020 in Nashville. So Ashley, this is a film that I think if people watch it honestly, it's something that can really generate a variety of emotions. It is a very stirring film. It's a film that hopefully will make people think. And in the process of making a film that deals with such subject matter, what are some of the biggest challenges, maybe one or two of the biggest challenges you faced in making a film of this type?
Well, as I mentioned, I didn't have any prior knowledge on the topic. It was something I kind of jumped straight into. And once I had made the decision for myself that I was pro-life, I wanted to know why. Why had I made that decision? I wanted to be able to articulate to others who had conflicting opinions what it was that changed my mind. So I'd say the research was the most labor-intensive part of making the film, because I'd never worked in an abortion clinic. I'd never experienced what Abby saw. So taking myself to a place that wasn't easy to see was part of the process that was very challenging.
So as you look at the final outcome, what would be your thoughts or response as the movie became a finished product?
Oh,
What did you think?
the very first time that I saw the film, I remember just crying like a baby, because what most people don't realize is there's so much CGI, and an actor looking at the ultrasound screen when I was doing that scene, all I saw was a sticker on a screen. There's nothing for me to look at. So when I saw the finished product, it just ripped me apart. And it was almost like an out-of-body experience watching the film. And I remember sitting halfway through it and thinking to myself, this is actually a really good movie. And then I was like, wait, I'm in this movie. How cool. But it was really awesome that the story was so compelling that even as the actor, I was able to sit back and kind of take it in.
So now we're looking back almost a year later. The movie has made a theatrical run. It's available on home video. What are you hearing by and large from people as far as the effect of this film?
It's been so incredibly empowering for a very significant amount of the population who's seen it. Not only are people changing their mind and they're becoming pro-life from being pro-choice, but there are women who've had abortions who have found healing from it. Men as well have been deeply affected by it. It is going global, and we're seeing that countries outside of the U.S. are also utilizing it as a tool to really put a face to the victim, because what the abortion industry looks like to me is a silent Holocaust. We don't see the image of this baby that's dying, and for the first time, I think Unplanned does a really great job of delicately showing that to people in a way that they have compassion, and most people want to stand up for injustice, and I think it's stirring that up around the world.